Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Neverwinter Nights Core Edition. When last we left off, we were encountering the various mercenaries in the trade of blades, and Sar'ken is now wearing a very silly hat. So silly, in fact, that I'm actually half tempted to remove it, because I don't even think his head fits in it. Look, size of head, size of helmet. We are literally crushing his head wearing that. We'll keep it in our inventory, though, for when we actually get into combat situations. Hello, The gnome sorcerer's brow is perpetually furrowed with wrinkles of intense concentration as he studies the world around him with a careful and analytical gaze. Let's have a look at him.
Hello there. You don't have the look of one of those Neverwinter soldiers about you. Neither do you show any evidence of having contracted the plague.
Why is that always a point that people bring up? Well, I don't want to actually die of the plague. But you have a certain bearing about you that distinguishes you from the ordinary citizen. Based on my observations, I'd venture the hypothesis that you are an adventurer, correct? You're right. I am an adventurer. My name is Sar'ken Smith. Who are you? I am Bodynog Glinkle, a gnome sorcerer from the island of Lantan, who has only recently arrived here in Neverwinter. Lantan? Isn't that the place where all those crazy inventions come from? My homeland does have a reputation for producing marvellous machines and outlandish contraptions not otherwise known in Faerun. We Lantanese are the people guided by the analytical principles of science, observation, reason, and logic. But don't allow yourself to be misled by rumours and hearsay. We aren't all kooky inventors, as some would have you believe. I myself am a sorcerer, for example. A sorcerer? I thought Lantan looked down on magic. But Lantanese people do not disparage magic, though many do not understand it. However, in my land, we rely on the arcane far less than the other people in Faerun. We prefer to seek a scientific solution to a problem rather than a magical one. Often through observation and experimentation, a problem can be solved without resorting to magecraft. Of course, sometimes a little touch of the arcane is a good thing. When a situation is appropriate, I do not hesitate to use my powers, Sar'ken. I may be from Lantan, but I am first and foremost a sorcerer. What are you doing in Neverwinter? I left my home some time ago to experience the broader world. It is not uncommon for the people of my island to undertake such a journey. I was exploring the northern coast. No, not the South Coast, the Sword Coast. Say it right. I was exploring the northern Sword Coast when I heard rumblings of a previously unknown plague breaking out in Neverwinter. In the name of scientific discovery, I came to investigate and catalogue the new illness. Fortunately, I arrived before the city was quarantined. I decided to begin my investigations of Wailing Death in the Beggar's Nest. Why the Beggar's Nest? From the accounts I gathered, it was generally agreed that the Beggar's Nest was where the outbreak began. I thought the best way to learn about the plague was to trace it back to its source. And when I learned that clerics were unable to combat the plague, I thought I could apply the scientific principles of Lantan to discover a more mundane cure. Unfortunately, I had to end my investigation into the Beggar's Nest mere days after they began. Far too short a time to conduct a proper study. Why do you stop the investigations? It is difficult to conduct a serious scientific analysis when you're constantly besieged by zombies. Oh, yes. Much as I wanted to continue my research, I was not about to throw my life away to do it. However, the zombie infestation struck me as more of a mere coincidence. I suspect there may be more than a casual relationship between the animated corpses in the district and an outbreak of the plague itself. While the zombies continue to wander the district, I cannot test my theory, but I suspect that they could lead to a cure. That the cure could be found in the Beggar's Nest. But not with you, I'm afraid. You are a sorcerer, and I require someone a little more multi-talented. I'll be going now. Goodbye. Then there's no logical reason to continue this conversation, is there? But if you're in need of a good sorcerer, come speak to me again. There is another mercenary around the corner, and that would be Linu here. While rubbing a stain off her shirt, this young elf glances around in a cheerful visage, yet there is a hardiness that belies her gentle exterior. Hello!
Please now, I already told you that I didn't mean to step on your cat. It ran right in front. Oh, you're not that other one.
Yeah, this is a person I actually enjoy having along if I'm not a healer myself, because she's very amusing as a character. Oh goodness, how embarrassing. Why does this always happen to me? Who are you? Before I tell you anything about me, I'd like to ask you a question if you don't mind. Go ahead. You're not one of those dirty, underhanded, conniving thief types, are you? No, I'm not. Why do you ask? I have had nothing but problems with irritating, despicable thieves ever since I left, but that's not important right now. Let me introduce myself. Okay. My name is Linu Lanerel, a devout priest of Sahanin Moonbrow. Sometimes these deities have very difficult names to pronounce. I seem to continue my adventures by hiring myself as a healer. Why are you in the barracks rather than helping the plague victims? I came to this city believing I could stem the tide of this plague with the powers of Sahanin. Alas, it defied my every attempt to find a cure. I worked long, hard hours in the Temple of Tyr, trying to alleviate the pain of the sick. Finally, after working through several days and nights, I was exhausted. When I tried to stand, I fainted. Then what happened? When I fell over and bumped into a glass statue with the symbol of Tyr. One of the balance plates flew across the room and smashed spectacularly right above the head of the high priest. That's rather unfortunate. It is. The crash was so shocking that the priest sat down right on top of a rather large shard of glass. I'm sure it healed up just fine once they tripped him and pulled it out. I was unhurt, but the other priests didn't seem too concerned about that at the time. They asked me to find somewhere else to help with the wounded, as if it was my fault somehow. Well, that could have happened to anyone. You are kind to say so, but I suppose it didn't help that I had accidentally lit the altar on fire the previous day. Are you really that clumsy? I'm not really clumsy. I was just tired. My troubles don't come from a lack of dexterity, so much as poor timing. Don't worry, I'm good in a fight and an excellent healer. Each day I've been assisting victims of the plague in the slums of the Blacklake district, where they lie in the streets, ignored by the residents and guards alike. That's good of you. Well, not anymore. The last time I visited there was a couple of days ago. I was attempting to help a sick old woman off the street when I was set upon by several thugs. They attacked you while you were helping plague victims? People are terribly discouraged because they figure they're going to catch the wailing death, so they aren't overly concerned with morals. In their desperation they turn to theft, or worse. I want to go back and help, but what can I do? I think that if I could earn some more experience and maybe some gold, I might be able to make a difference, not a district, because I was reading that line there. What do you know do you know anything else about the Black Lake district? Some of the rich nobles have collected exotic animals and made a zoo for their entertainment. Erudition of a zoo is supposed to be disgusting, and the animals have been mistreated. I should have done something about it, but the sick and dying in the city are enough misery for anyone. I heard there is a druid in the core who is looking for someone to help free the animals. I want to go to the Black Lake district. If I want to go to the Black Lake district, you will have to cross the slums. Plenty of looters like that could stick a knife in you, so having someone who can guard your back and heal your wounds is a good thing. But not you, I'm afraid, Linu. I'm going to be finding someone else who can heal. Not you. No thanks. Goodbye. If that's how you feel, sir. Should you need someone who can heal your injuries and fight alongside you, please return. There is one person I'm searching for, and I haven't found them yet. And you're not him either. You're a monk. Grimnor. You're not the one I want either. There is something unsettling about this dwarven monk. His eyes are cold and empty, and there is a stillness about them that seems almost unnatural.
I know you. You were at the academy during the slaughter of the students. You were there when the assassins came.
I'm definitely not evil. I'm sure you're evil. Who are you? How do you know about the academy? I am Grimnor, a monk of the Order of the Long Death. The grisly account of the academy is no great secret, Sar'ken, not to those who seek such things out. Tell me, as you stood amidst the blood-soaked corpses of your fellow students, did you gaze upon the face of death? Did you look into his cold eyes and feel his icy touch upon your soul? You seem a little creepy, Grimnor. Many find the members of my order unsettling, for we embrace death in all its incarnations. Yet in times like these, my skills are in great demand. What's a monk of the Long Death order doing in Neverwinter? There is a foul taint upon this city. Death, true permanent death, is perfect in its absolute finality. Pain, suffering, anguish, torture, those are the tools that prepare us for my master's soothing embrace. But this plague is unnatural. Its victims never passed the embrace of the Silent Lord. The wailing death is a blight upon the land that must be ended. So far I have uncovered no answers of my own that might help this epidemic, though I am eager to search the beggar's nest. What's in the beggar's nest? I have heard rumors that in the blighted district zombies walk the streets. Few things are so reviled by my order as the abomination of the undead. It would be reasonable to imagine that some connection between the undead and the unnatural end of those who succumb to the wailing death. Why haven't you investigated the beggar's nest yourself? Alone I am not likely to survive the dangers of a district, and throwing my life away is a foolish way to serve the Silent Lord. My death will come in its appointed time, and because you're rather sinister and more than a little creepy, I'll be going now. You are welcome to return should you have need of my skills, Sar'ken. If not, we shall meet again in the Silent End, when the Silent Lord claims us all. There is the companion I'm looking for. Do you remember her from Hordes of the Underdark? Sharwin the Bard. With a haunty gaze and challenging posture, this beautiful young bard almost dares people not to notice her. Hello, Sharwin.
Who's this? Some poor soul straggling in off the diseased streets? Are you here to join our ranks and beg for an employer? Or are you actually here to hire someone?
Who are you? My name is Sharwin, and I call this city my home. I seek adventure and excitement. If you seek the same, you'd be smart to hire me to accompany you. You're a local girl, are you? Does that make a difference? I see people I've known my whole life falling to sickness all around me. I'd say that gives me more motivation than most, and incidentally, I'm not a girl. And you seem pretty sure of yourself. And what other way is there to be? Should I be a fawning squeal at the sight of every mouse? Shall I hang onto your shoulder and beg for protection? I know what I want, and I know what I like when I see it. Such as you. You're a fine-looking half-orc man. We would make a fine team, you and I. And just what skills do you have? I am a caster of bardic magic, a master of all skills, and a teller of the oldest legends. And with or without your help, I intend to achieve my own fame in my time. One day bards shall sing their songs about me. I suppose such talk may make me seem arrogant to you, my lord. If so, I don't particularly care. I've known the path I was on for a long time. I left it behind a life of riches to live a life of bard. I think such confidence is admirable. Thank you. You're not the typical sort of man yourself, are you? If my own family had its way, I would be by now comfortably married to a wealthy man I could never respect, bored to tears in my large Black Lake District mansion. How odd a game the fates play. My family lies mostly dead now, and Black Lake full of frightened fools who bury their heads in the sand and pretend the plague won't touch them. What do you know about the Black Lake District? Plenty. It is full near to bursting with rich, frightened nobles who would rather wall off the district from everyone else and pretend the rest of the city doesn't exist than actually try to help. There are those within the district who are trying to rally the rich to aid the rest of the city, but their cries mostly fall on deaf ears. One day the plague will come to them in force, and they shall regret their selfishness. Anything else you can tell me about Black Lake? Is there much else to tell? It is perhaps the one place in the city that remains yet orderly and plague-free, although getting inside its walls may be a bit of a problem. There are some elements of seediness, perhaps. Every place you find the rich, you find places where they can indulge their strangest tales. I understand the local tavern's basement has its distractions. One thing it is for sure, if you intend to get anywhere in Black Lake, you best rely on charm rather than muscle. Or maybe bring a companion who knows the terrain. We shall be taking Sharwin, mixing it up there with Sar'ken. We shall be taking Sar'ken's companion, Sharwin, with us. Because Sharwin went with the companion of Neverwinter, as she said, in Horde of the Underdark, and the circle must be complete. Actually, I'm looking for someone to help me in my mission. I understand. Might you be able to illuminate me as to the nature of this mission of yours? I work for Lady Arabeth. I have been instructed to find several missing creatures that might be used to help find a cure for the plague. Arabeth is Lord Nash's servant, so your mission is bound to be exciting. Yes, I think I'd rather like to join you, if the price is right. My skills don't come cheaply, however. I'll follow you gladly and to the best of my ability, my lord, provided my price is met. What shall that price be? Let's see. 200 gold seems fair, wouldn't you say? The first instance of being able to use the persuade skill. It seems a little expensive. I'll give you 150. I'm not a crate of salt to be haggled over. 200 gold or nothing. Fine. Here's your 200 gold. Welcome aboard, Sharwin. Fair enough, my lord. I am at your disposal. I will follow you as you require. If you want me to do something different, do let me know. Shall we get a move on then? Sharwin has now joined our party. You have far less hit points than Crumpet, but that's to be expected. Without further ado, let us leave. Before we head to the first district of the city, it's now night, we should talk to some of the people like Duke or Cabbage. But there is the Moonstone Mask and the Shining Knight's arms and armor. We probably want to go to the Shining... We should actually look in the Plague Victim Pyre. We could actually catch a disease from that. Let's have a look. There is a scroll. We shall grab it. Let us go. There is some minor issue with pathing sometimes. Sign. The Moonstone Mask. We are not interested in going to the Moonstone Mask right now. Why would you want to go home to the Beggar's Nest? Does not seem like the best place to be anyway. It's full of death. And here is a guard dog. The guard dog doesn't like us. I'm not surprised. We do have a bear with us after all. Hello. This is one of the Neverwinter's many merchants. The plague has not been kind to the economy, but they try to maintain adequate stock nonetheless.
Hello? Yes, is there something you need? The Shining Knight has what you need.
Let's see what you have. Unfavorable. You do, however, have full plate, and my word is it expensive. My word is it expensive. 2,000 gold. Rest assured, we shall not be getting full plate for a while. In fact, we won't be getting any of that for a while. Let's just go. There's not a lot else we can actually look at in this area. There is the Halls of Justice. And there's also the tavern, which we shall now go and visit. Let's go talk to the people of the tavern. It's going to be a happy place, this place. What with all the death surrounding everywhere. It does not look like a happy place. There is Torgo. And there is, Vala here. This woman appears extremely confident. She watches everything with a knowing gaze. Nothing escapes her notice.
Well now, welcome to the Moonstone Mask. I am Ophala, your host and purveyor of fine spirits and entertainment.
Okay. You'll have stiff competition for attention tonight, I fear. Many more men than women are seeking comfort here tonight, it seems.
Well, hello. I'm Sar'ken Smith.
Will you answer some questions? Well, you are quite the charmer, aren't you? Ask away.
What kind of place do you run here?
It's a place of comfort and understanding. That has different meanings to different people, so we have a wide variety of services. I can't expect you to understand if this is your first visit. Most of what goes on here is quite innocent. Most. Perhaps you would be interested in partaking in our backroom areas? Or maybe you could be used... No, I talk too freely. You could trust me. What have you got to say? I suppose there's no harm in telling you what I need. Maybe you can help if you're good enough. You see, I'm an avid collector. My position here lets me hear about interesting things, and I occasionally hire people to get them for me. Currently, I want a few pieces of art liberated. The owners of them have made disparaging remarks about me, and I would like to express my displeasure.
Tell me about these art objects.
One's a statuette of someone's mother, or some such. Lord Androd Golden has it at his estate. He lobbied to ban city guards from visiting the Moonstone Mask. Another is a portrait of Sir Reginald Rumbottom III. His nephew, Lord Thoms Rumbottom, has repeatedly lobbied for us to be closed. He's a bit insecure, I think. The last is an urn stolen from me some years ago. The man that took it apparently got stuck here in the quarantine. Hodge is his name. If you'll agree, I'll tell you what I know about their whereabouts. Keep in mind that if I expect information, I wouldn't need you.
When we come back, folks, we're getting yet another mission. We're just getting basically bombarded with missions. But that's okay, because missions are important after all. They give us experience if nothing else. So, I'll catch you next time, and I'll see you then. Later.